everybody. My name is Courtney McIntosh. This is the Black Dad Chronicles. And thank you guys for tuning in. This is 31 Days of Podcasting. It is 10:52 p.m., so I still got just over an hour to get this podcast off to be included in the 31 Days of Podcasting. Thank you, honey. So today, I am going to be giving you my Star Wars The Last Jedi review. I saw the movie, loved it. I also have some special guests with me today. Say hi, special guest.
Hello.
You hear my bookend. Excuse me. Right there, you hear my bookends. You hear CJ Jr. and Olivia Jasmine decided she didn't want to play nice and be a part of this podcast tonight. And the reason why is we actually recorded a whole episode yesterday. But for some reason or another, the audio just got messed up. What is so funny, son?
Oh, looking at the face Jazz is making through the door.
Yes, we can see Jazz clear as day from her room, and she's like, she has the shock face on. So, like I said, gonna get into my review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. But first, I want the kids to introduce themselves. So, starting with the young one, Olivia.
Hi, my name's Olivia.
Stop bouncing.
How old are you?
7.
And what are some of the things you like to do?
I love to go to birthday parties. I love to do play dates. I love to draw and color and go to the movies.
Oh yeah, is that
Even
it?
with my friends.
Okay.
And go to sleepovers, which I hope I get a sleepover over in my friend's house once you get that person's phone number.
Okay, so how many Star Wars movies have you seen?
I'm gonna say 5.
No, you've seen all of them.
No, she didn't see Rogue One.
Yes, you did not see Rogue One.
Wait,
So
how
she
much
saw
Star
7.
Wars movies are?
You saw 7, but there's 8.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
No, 9.
No, there are 9, so you
So
saw 8. Because you didn't see Rogue One.
I'll see Rogue One once.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, so we can watch it.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, so next, CJ. Say hi.
Yo, I'm CJ. I like to play video games, hang out with my friends, and draw. And I also like to watch movies and play basketball.
Yeah,
I did not get washed.
okay.
I lost by 2.
First of all, I wasn't even going to bring that up. But since you brought it up, we got Master Trash Talker, CJ. That's one thing he forgot.
I'm out.
Where are you
No,
going?
you come back here.
I thought we were doing a review.
I know, but if you guys...
Okay, we're not going to talk about basketball. All right.
Give me a blanket.
So, all right, guys. So let's talk some Star Wars. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Do you want to come be a part of this conversation? You sure? You keep coming out the door acting like you want to be. Okay. All right, so, CJ, what was your favorite thing about The Last Jedi?
The last thing
Your favorite thing, not the last thing.
My favorite thing would probably be the final battle between Rey and Kylo facing
The Praetorian Guard, Snoke's guards.
Okay. And yeah, that was my favorite part. And do you want me to say my least favorite part?
Yeah.
Okay. My least favorite part would probably be Yoda burning down that one tree, the tree that had the ancient Jedi text in it.
Please don't say why.
Why?
Because the ancient Jedi texts are like ancient to the ways of the Jedi, I think. And it held like important information to important information to the Jedi.
Okay.
And Luke saying he was gonna burn down the tree, and him hesitating to do it. But he didn't do it. So Yoda immediately went through to the plan to do that.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of my worst part.
Okay, Olivia. Liv.
Wait, my
So what is your
part
favorite? Yes, what is your favorite part?
Is where at the end where Rey came back.
Came back where?
To I forgot the planet.
They were on Crate.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I keep forgetting the name. It's also a box. Great.
Oh
Yes.
no, not the
A
pun.
crate is a box. And
True. It's true. My least favorite part was when they went to that land and set free the donkeys. That was pretty stupid.
what
But
was?
to be fair, they didn't need to be free. Those animals.
When Rose and Fenn went to look for that hacker.
Oh, the code breaker.
Yeah, the code.
Master Codebreaker.
Yeah.
My when they set free that.
So somebody just wants to just come in and join the podcast. Come around this side. Come around this side.
Hello.
Say hello, Jasmine.
Hello.
And how old are you?
I am 11 years old.
All right. So this is my middle child, Jasmine. She was with us as we saw The Last Jedi too. How many Star Wars movies have you seen?
All of them. Like every single one of them. She saw Rogue One, she saw the first
Every single
Awakens,
movie that have been
everyone.
made, like the main series, I've seen, including Rogue One. My
Okay.
favorite
So yeah,
part,
what was your favorite part of?
my favorite part? I have to say, it kind of changed from like when we were yesterday. My favorite part was actually the part when what was it? My favorite part is when Ben or Kylo Ren figured out that it was a spirit thing.
What are you
that
talking about?
Luke Skywalker, when they were like that, like at the end. At the end, when they said they were battling them, like when Luke said that he would go out there by himself and like.
Oh, so when they were on Crate.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, on that new base.
Well, it was.
Oh,
Crate.
it was?
Yes.
Oh.
That was the name of the planet.
But that was my favorite part because like he was just in shock.
Why was that your favorite part?
Oh, I just told you.
Yeah,
like
why is
it
that
was kind of funny. It was kind of funny to like see
His face in
his
shock,
face. Like his face was kind of funny. Ben's when he found out that it was like a spirit thing.
Well, he probably thought it was like a hologram at first or something like that.
Then my least favorite part, I have to say, is when Yoda burned the tree down. Because it had like a bunch of ancient Jedi scripts that could have still been saved. And, like they could have kept them like to try to like figure out what happened. Like for some clueless people.
But we also saw that Rey had those books on the Millennium Falcon.
She took the books.
Yes, she took the books.
What?
Oh yeah, you guys only saw it once. I saw it twice. So
I noticed that. I just forgot about that.
And now it's her second time coming to Imagine Theaters, where we saw
My
it.
second time.
My first time.
I went to a school
CJ's
field trip,
first
by the
time,
way.
And Dad's first time.
that wasn't my first time at that theater. But
Oh.
okay, anyway, so my favorite part of the movie, hands down, had to be. Okay, so I have two. The fight scene in Snoke's throne room. I think that was the baddest Star Wars fight we've ever seen. I mean,
Why the baddest?
bad meaning good.
Oh.
it was something else I wanted to say, but because you guys are kids, I wasn't gonna say it. But I thought it was like that man. That scene was dope. That fight scene was excellent. You got Rey all fiery.
Triggered.
Yeah, I guess you could say she was triggered. You know, and she tried her hardest to make sure that Ben would turn back to the light. And then we find out that it was just, you know, Snoke.
Clickbait.
Well, technically, I guess it was clickbait. But, you know, it was Snoke, as my daughter loves to talk in cliches and acronyms. So, leave her
Give me
alone.
my blanket.
So, leave her alone. So, y'all, hey man, y'all distracting me. I'm trying to coordinate my thoughts. Okay, so, but because it was the best, you know, lightsaber fight outside of Obi-Wan and Anakin in Episode 3, which Episode 3 just happens to be my favorite Star Wars movie. Revenge of the Sith, I thought was excellent.
Revenge of the Sith? What was that about again?
That was when Anakin became Darth Vader.
Oh.
Seth Rollins.
I thought it was in The Force Awakens.
No, Darth Vader wasn't in The Force Awakens.
He was in the sixth book.
See Revenge of the Sith again?
We will see Revenge of the Sith
I want
again.
to see that.
All right, so then
Calm yourself.
I also loved the ending scene when you think all hope is lost for the rebels. You know, you see Luke come out of nowhere, and you really think it's him. You really think it's him because he sits down, he interacts with Leia. He touches her hand, she touches his hand. They talk. He gives her those dice that he got from the Millennium Falcon. He gets up, he kisses her forehead. So you think it's really him, and then you're like, "Yo, how did Luke get there?" First and foremost,
Dun, dun, dun.
because you know it didn't look like he had a way off the island. You saw his X-wing in the water sunk, and that X-wing has probably been there sunk for as long as he was there. And looking at it, he was probably there about maybe 20 to 30 years, something like that. So how would Luke get there? Well,
How old was he? How old even was he?
I don't know,
The
but
ways
that's
of the
not
Force.
important.
The world
Anyway.
may never know.
Anyway, so, you know, you think, how did Luke get there? And then when he walks out the door and Kylo Ren is just enraged. I want everything we have on that man right now. And just, you know, just letting the bombs just fly and fly and fly.
Yet he wasn't dying at all.
And then when the blazes stopped, you saw the look on Kylo Ren's face. And then you see Luke just dusted off his shoulder. It's like, oh, snap. And one thing I didn't pay attention to was the fact that he didn't leave any red footprints, unlike everybody else. Now, at first I was like, that's because the whole, you know, area was blasted. It was red to begin with. And then in that scene, you see when Kylo Ren moves his foot at one point, you see the red, ground underneath the white. So
He's magic.
yeah, okay. No,
I'm just adding sound effects.
thanks.
True.
But yeah, I thought that was dope. So those were probably my two favorite parts of the movie.
I rate this movie a 5, actually.
What'd you say?
I rate this movie a 5, actually.
A 5 out of what?
10.
Why do you rate it a 5 out of 10? Yesterday you rated it a 9 out of 10.
No,
She
8.
said 8.
Oh, 8. Sorry. Okay.
Why did you change it from 8 to a 5?
Both beginning and middle were sad, but the end was kind of happy. Was actually cheering me up.
Oh, okay.
Especially when
That's
Luke
all?
became part of
Yes.
the Force and died.
Okay. So CJ,
No.
what do you rate this movie out of?
I rate it 9 out of 10. Mainly because the beginning, I feel like the fight between the First Order and the Rebels in the beginning.
Oh, that was dope.
And,
I like that
yeah,
too.
but I think it was a little like longer than it should have been.
I think, okay, so one of the things about this movie, excuse me, that I did not like was the fact that I felt that in some parts it was too long. Versus when I saw Justice League. I thought Justice League was cut too short. You know, I think Justice League probably would have been better off being longer. And I would have sat in a movie theater for 3 hours to watch Justice League. And I thought the scenes on Canto Bite took a little too long.
Especially when they were looking for the...
Yes, when they were looking for the Master Code Breaker. That was one part of the movie that I didn't like, where...
Me neither.
You know, they spent all this time, Master Code Breaker, and it's just, you know, they're kind of like bumbling through it. They leave the shuttle just right there parked on the beach. They're just running in excitement to try to find this guy. And, you know, then they get caught.
And then
they, you know...
They weren't even able to interact with him.
Right. They never met the guy, but then in walks, you know, well, I guess not in walks, but Benicio del Toro was in their cell. So we finally found out who Benicio del Toro's character was after being shrouded in secrecy for the entire lead up. You know, people were curious about what this big role that Benicio del Toro was going to play. Maybe he was going to play some, you know, ancient Sith, or maybe some long lost Jedi, or a lot of people were thinking that he might even be playing a grown up version of Ezra Bridger, who's the star of the Star Wars Rebels show. But he come to find out he was just a thief and a con artist, and that's all he was. And I kind of wish he would have been more his character. Because it was kind of hyped up and shrouded in secrecy, I just wish it would have been more fleshed out. You guys don't have anything to add on to that, I take it. Okay, son. So, do you have anything else to say about the movie?
Other than the fact that it could have been like a little shorter.
Now, are you saying that because I said that, or do you truly believe that?
I think the movie should have been
wait a
shorter,
minute.
No,
Jasmine,
why are
Jasmine.
you here? Sorry.
Calm
Why are
down.
you
First of
here?
all, you didn't even want to participate. You can't just come in talking all over CJ.
You
That's
are
rude.
banned.
All right, CJ, go ahead and finish. What were you saying?
Well, I say that because there's like a few parts of the movie that could have been like shorter and not took as long as it did. But then no, not really.
Oh, okay. So before we wind this podcast up, CJ, what do you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I still rate it 9.
Okay. Yesterday you rated it a 9, and why do you rate it a 9?
The only reason why I rated out a 9 is because a few of the scenes looked like it wasn't supposed to be like in the place that it was supposed to be. Like, I feel like both Luke's and Ben's like flashback on when Ben turned evil, basically. I feel like they could have like showed that at the same time, like showing both of their perspectives at the same time, like Luke sitting somewhere like thinking about it, and Ben doing the same. Like,
yeah. Some pretty nice insight. All right, so you've seen all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
So on your list of in order, where do you rate The Last Jedi?
Probably around 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, and what would be the 2 in front of it?
Well, number 2 would probably be Rogue One, and number 1 in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. All right, so I think as far as all the Star Wars movies go, the one that had the absolute best story was Rogue One. Went to Rogue One really not knowing what to expect, and then you kind of, get the gist of it at the beginning. You find out it's basically a suicide mission, but you really don't think that it's gonna be, saying like that it's gonna end bad for everybody. Well, you see, hey, it ended bad for everybody. But I thought in terms of storytelling, Rogue One was the best movie. Now, like I already said, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, was my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. I would probably put The Last Jedi at a close number 3 behind Empire Strikes Back. But close. I mean, to me, it could be a little interchangeable. I mean, it was probably number 3 behind Empire Strikes Back. So I rate this movie probably an 8.5 out of 10 for the reasons I issued earlier. It could have been a lot. It could have been whittled down a lot to me, especially the scene on Canto Bight. I think that scene probably went along way too long. But, it was kind of like this big crescendo, like the build up to the end happened, and then the end happened. Then some other stuff happens at the end, You think that, they're trapped after they figure out that it's a hologram of Luke. Right before that, and then, the Luke scene happens.
They were off. They're literally they were already off.
Right. And then when you find that they get to the edge of the cave where the crystal creatures were, and then they're like stuck,
The crystal creatures look they look dope.
Yeah, visually, this was amazing. A lot of people complained about the fact that there was a lot of the visual cues from the original Star Wars that were kind of like not there, just like the transitions and things like that. It was plenty of them there, enough for me. I've also heard people say it was too much humor in the movie, and whatever. Some people are just going to be mad at everything. So, but that's going to be it for this Last Jedi review. We had a lot better episode recorded yesterday. My nephew was on it. But due to technical difficulties, we had to, as you hear Olivia and Jasmine in the background, we had to, redo it. And
which kind of got on my nerves.
Yeah, it got on my nerves too. Because then I had to scramble last minute for a podcast topic last night. So,
speaking of which, what was it?
It was the GOAT.
Oh.
Right. So, make sure you tune in with us early tomorrow. And I actually think I might do that, do tomorrow's podcast on Facebook Live. The premiere of Saturday Morning Macintosh. That's the working title. But it's our wrestling show. I love wrestling. All pro wrestling I love. I love it so much that I, was up from 3 to 8 a.m. on Thursday morning watching New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom. And I watched it live. That was my plan to wake up at like 4 o'clock and watch it. But, I was sick Wednesday and I went to sleep early. I ended up waking up early and couldn't go back to sleep. So
that's the same thing that happens to me a lot. Once I woke up.
So what was I? Okay, so tomorrow morning, Saturday morning Macintosh, where we're just gonna recap Raw and SmackDown from WWE every single week. Maybe some NXT in there, but I didn't watch NXT this week. I'll probably do that right when I get off, when we finish this up. The kids, I don't think they watched NXT. I'm pretty sure they didn't. But
I was able to.
Right. So I want you guys to tune in for that. As always, you can go to the Black Dad Chronicles Facebook page, facebook.com/the Black Dad Chronicles. You can also hit me up on Twitter, _I'm Court. And you can also shoot me an email at blackdadchron@gmail.com. Peace.